Whispers of the Yakhshini. The quaint village of Noorabad, nestled in the lush valleys of northern India, held secrets as old as the mountains themselves. Stories of ancient spirits, whispered under the glow of the moon, were passed down through generations. Among these tales, the most dreaded was that of the Yakhshini, a beautiful yet malevolent spirit known to prey on the unwary. In the heart of this village stood the prestigious Noorabad Convent School, an institution known for its strict discipline and academic excellence. The convent was an old building, its stone walls and wooden beams creaking with age. Though its corridors echoed with the laughter of children, an unsettling aura lingered in the air. Anika was a new student, having recently moved to Noorabad with her family. She was a bright girl, eager to make friends and excel in her studies. Yet, from the moment she stepped into the school, she felt an inexplicable chill. She often caught glimpses of shadows moving in the corners of her vision and heard faint whispers that seemed to echo from the walls. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Anika stayed late in the school library to finish her homework. The librarian, an elderly woman named Sister Agnes, had warned her not to stay after dark, but Anika was determined to complete her assignments. As the last rays of sunlight disappeared, a cold breeze swept through the library, extinguishing the candles. Suddenly, Anika felt a presence behind her. She turned slowly, her heart pounding in her chest. In the dim light, she saw a figure, an ethereal woman with flowing black hair and eyes that seemed to pierce through the darkness. Anika tried to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. The woman's voice was like silk, laced with menace as she whispered, "Welcome, my child." Over the next few days, Anika's behavior changed dramatically. Once a cheerful and kind-hearted girl, she became distant and irritable. Her friends noticed the change but dismissed it as homesickness. However, Sister Agnes knew better. She had seen this before many years ago when another student had fallen under the Yakhshini's spell. Determined to save Anika, Sister Agnes sought out an old priest who lived in seclusion on the outskirts of the village. Father Dominic was a man of faith and knowledge, well versed in the ancient lore of the region. When Sister Agnes told him about Anika, he agreed to help, but warned that confronting a Yakhshini was perilous. That night, as a storm raged outside, Father Dominic and Sister Agnes entered the school, armed with holy water, crucifixes, and ancient incantations. They found Anika in the old chapel, standing before the altar with an eerie smile on her face. Her eyes, once warm and brown, now glowed with an unnatural light. Father Dominic began to chant, his voice steady despite the howling wind and thunder. The Yakhshini, realizing she was being challenged, let out a blood-curdling scream. The temperature in the room plummeted, and shadows twisted and writhed around them. The battle was fierce, with the Yakhshini using all her powers to resist the exorcism. At one point, it seemed as though she would overwhelm them, but Father Dominic's faith never wavered. He continued to chant louder and more forceful, until finally, with a blinding flash of light, the Yakhshini was expelled from Anika's body. Anika collapsed, unconscious, but free from the Yakhshini's grasp. Father Dominic and Sister Agnes carried her to the infirmary, where she was watched over until she regained consciousness. When she awoke, she had no memory of the past few days, but the shadows that haunted the school seemed to have receded. Life at Noorabad Convent School returned to normal, but the legend of the Yakhshini lived on. The villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, warning their children to be cautious and to always heed the whispers of the wind. Anika, though she remembered nothing, carried with her a sense of unease whenever she walked through the school's old corridors. She knew deep down that the ancient spirit was still out there, waiting for another chance to return. And so, the story of the Yakhshini became another chapter in Noorabad's long history, a reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed, and that some spirits are never truly at rest.